Yeah, what's up, everybody? So today is just gonna be me because, well, for two reasons. One is like it's almost 1 a.m. right now and I'm by myself, and two, I don't have that many friends to get on this thing, so I don't have much of a social life, so it's hard to get people to come on. That's why I had my brother come on and uh, the same person twice come on. But anyway, I think today I just wanted to talk about mainly the world, like, and just how I view things. So, the first thing I wanted to say was like, I feel like the world is it's a really strange place. Like, you're expected to be like happy throughout your whole life. Well, that's the goal, right? But you're forced to, not that school is a bad thing, but you're forced to go to school for like what, elementary school, high school, college for like 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, and then they want you to do like 3 to 4 hours of homework. That's crazy, man. Like if you think about it, like if you're in high school or middle school, like when do people expect you to have time for your family or your own goals? Like that was always crazy to me. That's why I did terrible in high school. Besides my last 2 years, but like it comes to like a battle, time versus money. So when do you sacrifice your time for money? When do you sacrifice money for time? Like it's a few examples I have when I was working my other job. I would always like you'd always want to work your full 8 hours to get all your money. But I'm sure everybody can relate to this. Like those last 2 hours, if they let you go early, you don't care about that extra $20. You just want to get home, and like, and I always did that because I felt like my time was more important than money, especially working a job. You know, you're not going to be at it for the rest of your life, and then yeah, so and then that brings me to my next topic is like living a normal life. So I've always throughout my whole life, I never wanted to live a normal life. Like I don't want a 9 to 5 job. I don't want to have to get up every morning, go to work, and drive 2 or 3 hours, come back, go to sleep, go to work, and just rinse and repeat every day. That's terrible. Like I don't see how people. Well, I mean, I know how people do it because you have to survive, but that's not something I want. Like for my own life, and then yeah, I just don't get how people can do that. It's crazy, and like, and that goes back to going to school. So, like, if you're doing that for the rest of your life, like it's just crazy. Like how do you be happy doing that? And that's not something I want to do. Uh that's why I try to work hard in everything I do. And so the next topic I want to get into is depression. I know a lot of people deal with depression. It's actually really common nowadays. Probably mainly because of the stuff I just said before. You had to. Most people live this life I'm talking about. Going to school all day, and then once they graduate school, going to more school, and then after that they get a job where they work all day, and that's probably the main reason why people are stressing, have depression. But so I thought I had bad depression like before when I was in high school and even when I was starting college, but it was nothing compared to what I dealt with when my dad passed away, and I'm still dealing with it. But before I feel like I hate to compare like people's depressions, but I feel like when you lose somebody, that's a different depression than like just normal life depression. If you get what I'm saying, but either way, it's hard. But how I dealt with it before was I would I would just try to find an escape. Like even now, I'll like read a book, or my main thing is like watching TV shows or movies. Like you just go into a different world, and that's how I deal with not wanting to deal with this world, if that makes sense. But it's just crazy. Like if anybody, literally everybody you talk to will have some type of depression. I feel like it never really goes away. It's just something you have to. I wouldn't say try to hide, but it's something you have to find something else to replace it with, and then that's how most people get into relationships. Even though that could cause depression, but most people get into relationship. They do stuff with their family. It all helps. But for me, I just go into somebody else's world. So like I'll watch a movie or I'll read a book or watch TV or play video games. That's how I deal with mine. But when somebody love passes away, it's way different. And then when I find answers for that, I'll let you guys know. But it's great. I know there's a couple people in my life that besides my family that are dealing with the same thing and they don't have answers either. And so it's hard, but I'm still trying to figure it out. Another thing is, one thing I noticed like lately, because a lot of the time, cause like I said earlier, I don't have much of a social life. So when I do go out, I'm always like, this might sound weird, but I'm always like, not scanning people, but like I'm looking at how they act and just just everything in life. So and I realize in this life there's a lot of bad people, and to me it doesn't make sense how there could be so many bad people in this world. Like we're all in the same place. Like it's hard for everybody. So I don't understand how somebody can be so evil. I'm not going to give specific examples, but everybody knows there's really bad people in this world, and then people that are good get taken away, and it's just crazy to me. Like I explained it on my Instagram a while back, but which I'll get into in a bit. But I just I don't, I don't even have any words for it. There's just really bad people in this world, and for me, it's not right. It's like how can maybe it makes the people feel good about themselves, maybe just to bring other people down. But to me, it doesn't make sense. We're all living in the same like world. Why can't you like get along or let other people be successful too? And now that I say that, that's probably one of the reasons why uh, everybody wants that success. And so if you see somebody else getting it, you wanna tear them down. And that's not how I say things. I want everybody I know to be successful, and that doesn't mean sacrifice yourself so someone else can be successful. I mean, you can just be happy for them. Dealing with depression, like I talked about earlier, for me, it comes from uh, a place of being. I'm pretty closed off emotionally. I don't know if that's how I should word it, but I've always been closed off. That's probably one of the main reasons why I've never actually been in a relationship, like except for them girls doing me dirty. I'll just play it, but but I've never been in like a real relationship, and it's probably one of the reasons. Even with my family, I've always been closed off. I like to have my emotions because I don't like for the few friends I do have, I feel like I'm that person you could go to get like help or just to laugh or feel better about yourself. And then if I'm like super down all the time, like who wants to be around that, you know? And it's like, and that's what's crazy to me. Like, is like you I could be one of like I could sorry I'm having trouble with words, but I could be super down and like depressed, but I'm still trying to help uh, other people with their problems, and I wish the whole world was like that. The place it would be a better place. And then so for me right now, um, I'm just living day by day. I'm starting a new job Monday, and then I feel like that's gonna help me out a lot with like family stuff. Obviously, money's important in this world, but I gotta pay bills and stuff. Yeah, but I want to continue. Like that's why I'm doing this podcast. It might suck because I'm by myself. You guys have no idea what you could do, but it's really hard to talk to yourself. Even though like I'm talking to people, somebody's gonna listen to this. It's hard talking to yourself, and I'm out of shape because I'm running out of breath too. But yeah, it's really hard. And then yeah. So, anyways, yeah, and then I'm planning to go back to school also, and I just live. So ever since my dad died, I've had this like and even before, anytime somebody asks me something, my answer is always I don't know. Like they're like, what do you want to do with your life? I don't know. Like what are you going to school for? I don't know. Like I just have like my answer is I don't know, and like I don't feel like that's a bad thing because if you have a set goal for everything, like I mean obviously it's good to have goals, but if you're like 100% determined to do one thing and that gets thrown off, most people just give up. For me, sorry, my for me, I just I just go with it day by day. Like if opportunities pop up, I'm gonna take it. But don't get it twisted though. I work I work my ass off, especially in school. Like And that's how I plan to succeed. I plan on working my ass off. Like when I was in school, and this will help anybody who's going to school right now. I know I have a few friends that are going to school. Yeah, when you're in school, you can't be afraid to ask questions. You can't be afraid to uh, stay after and talk to the teachers or just ask for advice. Like for me, like I'm terrible at math, but one of the ways I passed my math class was to uh, go to the learning center and get tutoring every day. And then so like campus would open up at like 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning, and when we had a test day, I'd be there at like 6 o'clock. So when the doors open, I'd be in, and my test wouldn't be till 10 a.m. I end up passing math with a B. That's not the greatest, but no, actually I passed with A because I got a 4.0 last semester. Yes, a humble brag. Do better, people. But yeah, but so I don't have that much more to say. I'm only 11 minutes in, and I feel like I missed a lot of stuff. I was gonna go deeper into it, but now that I'm sitting here talking, it's like hard to concentrate. So I know for next time I'm gonna need a better like a plan to do this. But yeah, the things I went over, like obviously, like I said, the world's a strange place, and I feel like for each person, it's different. Everybody views things different, and especially for me, I feel like I view things a lot different from everybody else. And like I'm quiet most of the time. Well, to my friends, I'm probably not quiet, but I'm quiet because I'm always watching. I'm always learning, and that's the best thing you can do is learn from your mistakes, learn from other people's mistakes, and that really helps when you're trying to deal with stress or depression. Like one thing I took from my family's always been like we've always been like poor. We didn't have a lot of money. A lot of times my mom and dad were struggling, and obviously and still to this day we do. And so I feel like I feel like that gives me a reason why I could when I talked about the time versus money before, like a lot of people would probably say, well, I'm broke, I need the money, money is more important than time. But I still feel like time is more important than money is. Trust me, if I could go back and spend more time with my dad instead of making money, I would have. But yeah, I've distracted myself. I don't even know where I was going with this, but yeah, uh, dealing with this life, man, it's hard. But you got to find your own way. And uh, I feel like you should write everything down, like everything you want to do. Like even though I said you shouldn't have a set goal, but or not a set goal, but you shouldn't be like 100% like determined on one thing. But you should write everything you want to do down. You should uh, write things down that bother you, and maybe that could help you deal with it. One of the things I did when my dad passed away is on my phone I'll write like letters to him, and uh, I don't do I did it every day. I don't do it every day anymore, but when I feel down, I do, and that's one of the things that helped me deal with that. And for anybody like struggling right now, it's like it's easy for someone to say, "Oh, you'll get over," or "It'll pass," but that's really up to you as a person. You have to decide that, and you have to work through that. And I know it's hard, but you just you just have to do it. Like you got no choice, to be honest. And yeah, and that's just the way I view things. And I later on I'll get a lot deeper into certain topics, but this was my first podcast for myself, and I just wanted to. This is more like a broad topic. I just wanted to talk about the world. Uh, it's a bad place. Oh, earlier I said I posted something on my Instagram, and I was gonna get to later. I'll talk about it now. So on my Instagram a while back, when my dad passed away, I talked about this idea that the Earth is hell. Like it, that sounds like one of my friends told me that sounds really depressing. But I literally mean like, what if like this Earth is actually like hell? When you die, you go to heaven, but like this is the test. Because if you think about it, like life is hell, man. Maybe that's just the way I view things because it's a struggle right now. But that's just the way I view things. But you, I feel like everybody has a chance to make it or and do what they want. And like I said earlier, it's just up to that person to do it. And that's really all I got to talk about today. I know I'll get more suggestions from like frames, how I could do this podcast better and more topics that people want me to go over and see how I view it. But it's like 1 a.m. right now, and I'm just talking out of my ass. So I'll stop now. All right, thank you all. I'll talk to y'all later.